Hello, traveler, and welcome to Safyre, a meditative fantasy podcast that will guide you through a world of self-discovery. Merging storytelling with energy healing, this podcast explores a different approach to meditation. My name is Ashtyn, and I'm your guide on this journey. Please use your headphones for an immersive audio experience. Last episode, we grounded into the wisdom of the stickways, the nature spirits of Safyre, who helped you identify your needs for your journey ahead. Today, we're going to explore the Forgotten Valley, a field of memories that can help you free yourself from old narratives. This podcast is created, produced, and narrated by Mora Forest, and music is mixed by Adam Ive. If you'd like to support the production of this podcast, visit safyre.ca. There you can subscribe to your guidebook, side quests, bonus meditations, and more to make the most of your journey. Now take a deep breath, close your eyes, open your third, and let's begin. What a long day it's been, meeting each other, trekking through a desert that was never really there, floating through the river, and grounding into nature. Finally, it's nighttime. The fireflies are out, the stars are shining above, and the air is so fresh. It's gotten a bit cooler too. At least for me it has. Like you may have heard me say before, in Safyre, just like your world, one of the best times for healing is at night. Mostly everyone and everything is asleep and recovering. The moon will hang overhead as a gentle light to guide you, and there are soft breezes that move through the air, replacing any mental clutter with new thoughts and inspiration. Whenever you feel those breezes, breathe into them. You'll get to rest eventually. For now, we've got a few more places to visit. I wonder what it's like to travel to other worlds, physically speaking. I've been here for so long, and although I have the memories from my different lives, they tend to fade away or blend together. And there are some things I can't remember at all because I don't have a physical body. I can't tell you what it feels like to touch grass or feel my breath moving through my lungs. The mind can try to use memories to recreate these sensations, but it's not the same when you can't feel them anymore. It's okay though. I knew this would happen, and I'd still choose to stay here. I like guiding travelers who are living on Earth. They know what that feels like. So when I ask you to feel the ground beneath your feet, or take a deep breath in, it's because I can see what's happening when you really sink into those sensations. Your muscles soften, your shoulders relax. There's a calmness that comes over you, even if it lasts a second. You can use your physical body to help recenter your mind, and I think that's so beautiful to see. I know I took that for granted in many of my lives. That's why I make a point of bringing that focus here. In Safyre, your mind still wanders and impacts your surroundings. It's just more fluid. If you don't use your physical senses to help you ground, it could be harder to see beyond your own perspective. That's why you were able to see the Mora Desert before I could. Being a mystic doesn't mean I get to see through all the illusions. So, when you take your next big inhale, will you feel that sensation for me? It really is a blessing. I think we're reaching the edge of this forest. I can tell by the trees. They're spaced out a bit more here. Perfect timing for me to tell you a little story about my journey. When the barrier around Safyre sealed the last of us in, I went on quite a long journey before I even realized there were other spirits here. I thought it was just me, alone, forever. It was pretty depressing, I'm not gonna lie. For a long time, all I had was my memories. When they started to fade, I felt like the only sense of comfort I had was slipping away. That made my abandonment wound a lot bigger. Eventually, I was left with one memory that stuck with me for what feels like forever. In this memory, I was sitting alone on a dock with my feet in the water, swaying back and forth. I could barely see the floor of this lake, but my reflection was clear. And it didn't look like me. Or at least, it didn't look like how I saw myself. Long hair, uncomfortable clothing. I was hunched over, disguising a chest I didn't expect would grow. Every time I tried to recall this memory, that reflection would give me the same painful look. Confused. Like it was also trying to recognize me, but it just couldn't. It made me think I wasn't happy in my last life. I tried working with this memory to get more from it. Maybe there were others in it, or I could communicate with my reflection. But the longer I spent in Safyre, the harder it became to remember. I thought I needed to cling to this memory because it was the only last real thing I had. The last proof of life outside of Safyre. But it only made me feel like I was constantly missing something. Eventually, I went to the Cambion River to let go of this memory and the feelings that were intertwined with it. But it didn't work because I was trying too hard. So I stopped trying to let go, and I stopped trying to cling for more. There were other pieces of this memory I wasn't fully aware of, and I had to accept that maybe it would never bring me the clarity and comfort I thought I wanted. And then I found this place. This is the Forgotten Valley. The soft sounds you're hearing come from memories sealed inside little orbs of light and vapor. You'll notice some are buzzing and moving faster, while others are hovering at a slower pace. By the time I found this field, my last memory was fading fast. And I was ready to accept that. But as I walked through here, I could hear them. All the memories taking place from that specific lifetime. It was a lot at first, but I just followed the sounds that resonated with my spirit. One by one, I went through this field, opened up all of these orbs, and regained all my memories. And then I learned why I tucked them away without realizing. Some made me feel like the sun in the sky, and others stole the air from my lungs. Hypothetically, of course. Whether they were happy or sad memories, it brought up a lot of grief. After spending time all night in these memories, I learned why the one at the dock took up so much space. When the other souls left and sealed Safyre away, that loneliness I felt was the same kind of loneliness I was experiencing from that memory. They couldn't see the Nevedin the way that the few of us did, and it hurt to think that they'd rather forget everyone and everything than stay and face their problems together. Sure, I eventually found others who stayed as I did, but they weren't family to me. Not in the same way. We all had different paths to take that called us to different parts of Safyre. So I was alone, just like them. It was only a matter of time before I developed this narrative of myself that I was meant to be alone, even outside of life. If they couldn't see the Neverton for what it truly was, they couldn't see me either. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be guiding you on your journey. My point is, I wasn't letting go of that memory. I was trying too hard to analyze my way through it, thinking, why this one? What else happened? This doesn't say much. At the same time, I'm just continuing this narrative of feeling alone and abandoned. When I stopped looking for evidence in my memories to support that, I found everything else. There were a lot of other memories that I ignored because they challenged that narrative. And that's what you're going to do today. When you first started this journey, I asked you to think of the person you wanted to be. And I asked you to think of how close you felt to this version. Has that changed at all? It's okay if it hasn't. While we're in this field, I want you to think of that version of you, to call on them. Whether that's your future self, a past self, ask them to be here now. There's a reason you're holding yourself back from them. It's likely tied to a narrative you have about yourself. The best way we can clear this up is by navigating this field. Walk through this field and notice which orbs stand out to you. Find one that has more energy to it. I'll stay here. Great, you found one. While holding this orb in your hand, notice what it looks like. If it's different than the others, or if it looks the same. How does it feel in your hands? Is it lighter or heavier than you expected? Just notice. Now breathe into this orb. Set the memory that's inside free. Allow this memory to emerge from the vapor around you. It doesn't need to be negative or positive. Just notice whatever comes to you. How do you look in this memory? How old are you here? Are you different in any way? Notice if you're in your body, or if you're watching this scene play out from afar. How do you feel in this memory? Where can you feel that in your body? Breathe into that. And exhale it out. Notice how your mind is relaying this memory. The people within it, if there are any, the space you're in, if it's dull or vibrant. And pay attention to the expressions you wear. What narrative is playing out in this memory? If it's not obvious now, that's okay. There's a reason it's shown up for you. Maybe your perception of yourself or others has changed here. Maybe you assumed a role that you feel obligated to take on. Take a minute to let this surface. Is there something your younger self needs in this memory? Something you needed back then? What would it look like if you did receive that? How would this memory be different? Could you accept that now? When you're ready, on your next deep breath, set this memory free and let the vapor of the orb dissolve into the field around us. Amazing. I know it can be hard to revisit memories, no matter what kind. I'm proud of you for staying here through it. How do you feel? Narratives don't often disappear overnight. Even on your best days, they could be lurking in the back of your mind. And that's okay, because this is a process. When you give yourself the grace and patience you need to unlearn these narratives, it'll get easier every time they show up. Can you support yourself in letting go of this narrative, even if it takes longer than you hope? Okay. Let's take that first step then. Remember who you came here to be. Call on that version of you now. Let them emerge from within you. You can call on your flame if you need to. This narrative you hold can be written into something new. Trust yourself to make that change. Walk through this field as your chosen self and look for another orb, one that you may have overlooked. Okay, this orb, how does it feel in your hands? Does it feel different or similar to the first one you found? Now, before you open it, bring that narrative to mind. This orb will show you a memory that counters your narrative. Take a deep breath in and exhale as it opens up. Take some time to sit with this memory. You don't need to intellectualize, just notice what's happening. How does this memory compare to your first one? How do you feel in this one? Are you in your body or watching from outside of it? What does this memory show you about your narrative? It's okay if you can't make the connection right now. Maybe the answer will come to you later. Is there anything in this memory that you can take with you? Something that can help you shift your narrative? Maybe it's even the state of mind you were in, or the point of life you were in. Just notice. When you're ready to release this memory, take another deep, cleansing breath in and let it go. You should be proud of yourself. This isn't the easiest thing to do. It takes a lot of courage and vulnerability to revisit the past. Your memories are always communicating with you. How you respond to them is what brings you closer to yourself. So be kind and patient. You'll learn a lot more from yourself that way. Now, at your own time, with your eyes still closed, come back to your body. Gently move your neck from side to side, feeling the tips of your toes and fingers. Take one last deep breath in, and on the exhale, open your eyes. Thank you for showing up today. I hope this episode has brought you peace and a new understanding of what you came here to be. If you want to take your journey further, you can visit sapphire.ca where you can build your inventory, complete side quests, and document your findings in your own personal guidebook. Stay tuned for the next episode when we visit the offering tree to connect with other travelers, past, present, and future. Always remember to be who you came here to be and trust in what your journey has in store for you.